Hello and thank you for tuning into my Leica Cyclone model tutorial series. My name is Matt Brown. Throughout this series, I will be covering basic 3D modeling techniques using Cyclone Model. In part 8, I'll be using different 3D modeling techniques to show you how to 3D model complex objects such as this electrical transformer. Start by navigating to the point cloud you wish to 3D model. In this case, we'll 3D model this transformer on the right. Since we're going to focus on this transformer, we'll just bring this transformer point cloud data into another model space using the fence mode. So fence in the transformer, right click, copy to new model space, and this brings that point cloud into the new model space so that you don't have the remainder or the other point cloud to worry about. So we'll focus on the easy stuff first. So we'll focus on 3D modeling this section of the transformer using a cylinder. So what you'll want to do is select the point cloud, right click, region grow, cylinder. And this will grow a cylinder on that point cloud. Once finished, you can adjust a little bit so that it's not going all the way up the cylinder. Click OK. And using the orange handles, we'll just adjust the height to reach the top, and then the bottom to reach the bottom. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to add an end cap to the bottom. So pick on the area near the bottom of the cylinder, edit object, end caps, add flat, and you'll see here it adds a flat bottom to our cylinder. And we'll go up to the top, and that's not a flat top. So what we'll do here is we'll just adjust this down. You can see it's kind of a conical shape. So what we'll do is we'll pick on the center line handle, and then using create object drop down insert cone, we'll insert a cone, create, and then just adjust the geometry of that cone using the orange handle. So we'll grab the center line handle, pull it down, and fit it to where the point cloud is. And then to adjust so it aligns with the point cloud. And then with a point pick near the top, edit object, end caps, add flat cap close to pick, and that'll cap off that cone. Next, we'll do the same process using region grow on this little cylinder here. So we're going to adjust that, and then we're going to cap it off using a blind flange. So select the center point of that cylinder, insert, blind flange. That's all from the create object pull down. And then using the orange handles, just adjust the size of that flange to fit in the point cloud. Next, we'll focus on 3D modeling one of these insulators. So what we want to do here is we want to create a center line down this insulator so that we can use the center line for our main alignment for our other 3D models that are going to make up this structure or this feature. So using region grow, just create a cylinder. What we're going to do here is we're going to use some of the point cloud to fit the cylinder. So just adjust as needed, and then click OK. Next, we'll want to just adjust the cylinder so that it's extended all the way down to the bottom. And then we'll also just check for alignment. So you can see here it's kind of misaligned a little bit. So using your Alt key and your mouse, just scoot that bottom end over until everything is well aligned with the point cloud. and then insert those points because we need the points to 3D model all these other features on this insulator. So next, using the endpoints of the cylinder, we're going to just select one endpoint, and then we're going to select the other endpoint. We're going to create object from pick points, polyline or line segment. Doesn't really matter. So line segment in this case. And what that's going to do is that's going to create our center line that we can work off of now to 3D model this feature. So for now, we don't really need to use the point cloud to 3D model as far as selecting it, so we can turn off the selection. So right click, view object as, selectable visible tab, turn off the ability to select the point cloud, click OK. So now we'll select the center line, bring the center line down to the first rib of that insulator. What we're going to do now is we're going to insert or 3D model these insulator ribs. With the top of that center line selected, we're going to use the create object pull down, insert blind flange, and we're just going to insert this and adjust to fit the geometry of that rib. So next we're going to create an array of these flanges down the center line. So select your flange, right click, we're going to go down to create copies. And what I want to do is I want to use the center line as my reference axis so that the direction of move is down or up. In this case, it will be down. So select the reference axis option and then select your center line. Then we can go back in there and you can see here line 1 axis. Click OK. Now we'll want to come up to this section here, number of copies, and enter in the number of copies you want to make of that flange. In this case, it's 13. So before you hit the copy button, select the actual flange, and then make sure you add the distance of move, which you'd previously measured. In this case, we've already done so. So we can select the flange and click the copy button, and you can see here that multiple copies of that flange have been made. So as you can see, the flanges came in relatively close to the point cloud, not exact because of my measurement. But what we'll do here is we'll just adjust these so that they fit as close as possible to the point cloud. So select the flange, right click, move, rotate. And we'll go ahead and click on the Move tab. And then we're going to click on the arrow next to direction of move, and we're going to utilize the actual flange center line as the reference axis because it was built off that center line. So whenever you move it up and down, it's just going to be on the same axis. So under distance of move, I want to create or I want to use a very small number here. So I also want to make sure I put in a negative or keep it positive depending on which direction you want to move. So here just negative 0.1 inch is going to creep that up and down. So we'll click that with the flange selected, click the move button, and you can see it start moving. So negative is in the up direction. And we'll just get it nice and aligned. I'm going to go ahead and move into orthographic mode so that I can flatten out my screen. It can make the alignment process a little bit easier. And just continue the move workflow on the other flanges. And it looks like I have one too many, so I'll just select and delete it. Next, we're going to create the middle section that's in the middle of these flanges. And remember, we're just worried about geometry. We're not worried about aesthetics or getting the geometry exact. In some cases you will, though. Your customer might need a different requirement that requires you to 3D model these things more precisely. But in this case, we're going to focus on the basic geometry of this feature. So enter in the diameter, click OK, and now we can adjust the length of the cylinder, and you can see here it used that alignment. So before we adjust it though, I want to make sure it's the right size. So using the handle, just resize it a little bit so that it captures the point cloud data, and then adjust it to fit the extent that you want it to. Now using this center line point up top, click on the center line point, create object, insert cylinder. We're going to create that top cylinder. Here just click OK or creates the cylinder. Now adjust it up so that it matches the point cloud. And then what we'll do is we'll make the cylinder a little bit wider, increase the diameter so that it matches the point cloud. Now adjust the top and bottom of that cylinder because we're going to add some end caps so that it matches the geometry a little bit more accurately. So with the cylinder selected, edit object, pull down, end caps, add both elliptical heads. So make some final adjustments, and when you're all done, just visually inspect to make sure you didn't miss anything major. Make sure the alignments look good on the point cloud. And then we'll finish off this insulator by creating the bottom. So drag the center down a little bit so that it meets where the other object is kind of coning off. So with the center line selected, create object, insert. In this case, we're going to insert another cylinder, but we're going to bring it down because we're going to use this as the base. And then make some adjustments. You can see here everything's not perfect. This is just a quick how-to. If we were doing this in real life, we'd be spending a little bit more time making sure everything was aligned properly. So we'll use another elliptical head on top of this cylinder to demonstrate the geometry here, and then we'll just move it up, and that creates a nice accurate representation of that feature. The next step would be to 3D model this second insulator, and we'll do so by using the existing 3D model we just created. So with your polygonal fence mode, fence in the 3D model of the insulator, and we'll right click, fence, select fenced, and this will select everything inside that fence. Then edit group and choose group, and this will group all the existing or all of the individual 3D models into one, as you can see here. And as you can see, you can make some slight adjustments. So with the insulator selected, right click, copy, and then once copied, right click, paste. So paste a copy in there. So using the blue handle, just left click, drag it over to the next insulator. And now we're going to rotate it. So using the rotation handles, we're going to turn those on. You can see the rotation handles there. Just grab the red handle and move it around whichever direction you need to get it aligned. So in this case, we're going to go counterclockwise, and we're going to use the blue handle and move it over a little bit. And we're going to keep on using the, I call them steering wheels, or rotation handles, and the blue handles to align it properly to the point cloud. We'll finish up by creating this small feature on this transformer using the same methods as we used before with the cylinder and reach and grow, and the blind flange as the end cap. Thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions or would like to see a specific tutorial covering Cyclone Model or other Cyclone modules, please email me at the address below or message me anytime on LinkedIn.